Today is September 4th, 2019. My name is Joe Todd. This is an interview with Ron Jones in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Sir, where were you born?
I was born in, actually I was born in Tulsa, but I lived in Collinsville up until, I don't know, 1966 or go. Yes.
Okay.
Went to school there, graduated there and everything, so.
What's your birthday?
September 17th, 1948.
1948. Who is your father?
My dad's name was Alfred Jones, and he thought he'd named me after him with a middle name of Laverne. Come to find out when he got his birth certificate, his name was Lavon. So it was kind of, yeah, well, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. And your mother?
Ruby Jones, she was, it was Ruby Crittenden before Mom and Dad got married, and they got married when she was about 17.
Crittenden?
Crittenden.
Yep. Okay. They get married in Collinsville?
I would guess so. I didn't never
Yeah,
know the
yeah,
particulars
okay,
on that,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, his mom and dad had passed away already, and so he was living with the Culpet people down in Collinsville, and they gave him a job and everything. He worked at the movie theater there as a projectionist and everything. The movie theater is still there, but it's just a kind of an opera house now, I think. Yeah.
Now, did you live in Collinsville?
I lived in Collinsville. I live on 10th Street in Collinsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of friends lived out in the country, but you know, they bust in and all that kind of stuff. So,
What year did you graduate high school?
graduated in May 1966.
1966.
Yeah, this past May would have been my 53rd.
Yep. Yep.
Those numbers have got to be wrong.
Yeah. What did you do for recreation in high school?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Golly, probably just ran around with my friends and probably caused all too much trouble, I would imagine. Used to go out in the country, and we'd build forts. And my dad went deer hunting one time and come back. He had a couple of deer, and he made me a leather jacket out of it. Mm-hmm. And I wore that thing out there one time, and we had a fire inside this little hut, and my jacket didn't smell the same after that. I fell off a horse one time, riding along, fell off on the left side and hit my right shoulder. I don't know how you do that, but I did. If there's a way to do it, I figure it out.
So, who had the horses and all this out?
There was a guy that I went to school with. His name was Randy Post, mm-hmm. And now it's not that far out in the country, and there's a lot more houses out down around there than there was then.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know if his house is even still there or not. Yeah. But we had a lot of fun out there. Him and his brothers and sisters and another guy that went to school with, Gary Huey, who passed away here in June. He lived out in that area, and we just all went out there and had all kinds of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where'd you live in Collinsville?
When?
Where?
I lived on 513 North 10th Street in Collinsville, and my sister lives there still. Oh. Actually, my mom bought a house at that address when Dad was in the service, and after he got out, in about late 1950s or early 50s, they kind of tore it down, but they built it on the same principle as the other one, and that's the house that's there now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same floor plan, all that.
Same floor plan and everything.
Okay. What did you do after high school?
I went to Tulsa Business College from about 66 to April or so of 68, and a friend I went to school with, me and him was going to go down. We were going to enlist. Then come time to go down, and both of us chickened out. So I started taking drafting at Tulsa Business College, and I got drafted out of drafting. Okay, but you know, I kind of wished I had joined. I would have enlisted, but drafting, you know, at that time, I just didn't really care about it, but yeah.
When were you drafted?
May of 1968,
May 1968.
yeah.
Where'd you go for basic training?
I went to Fort Polk, Louisiana in the summertime. And you don't want to be in Fort Polk, Louisiana in the summertime.
Tell me about basic.
Oh, Lord have mercy. They didn't know. Well, I really don't remember a lot because that's been over 50 years ago. And but I know you couldn't do anything if, I remember one time, every time you went into a building, your cap you had to take off and put it in the back of your pants. And well, Ronnie went to the bathroom. And when I pulled down his pants, his hat fell on the stool. I said, because if you got caught out of going out anywhere, you better have a hat on. You'd really get in trouble. I had to run back to the barracks to get my other hat. Oh man, that was embarrassing.
Now, what kind of training did you have in basic?
Oh, we did everything. We did with a M14 and I don't know if we had any M6. We might have had some. We almost know we did, but and how to do. Oh Lord, just doing all kinds of stuff. How to set claymore mines and all this kind of thing, and because they said you was gonna need it, and I believed them, and we did.
Did you go to Tigerland?
Oh yes, I did.
What is Tigerland?
Well, it's that's where I went to that's where my AIT training, Advanced Infantry training, was at. I did my basic and AIT all in Fort Polk, Louisiana. Some people go from one place to another, a different camp. But I did all mine right there, and I actually kind of glad. Yeah, I even had me a Tigerland shirt at one time, but I can't fit in it now.
Now, how did your AIT compare to basic?
Well, I think basic just got you ready, and AIT advanced your training in different areas that you had already had training in, and just advanced it a little bit. Yeah.
What's your most vivid memory of basic?
Oh man, gosh. I guess all the rules and having to get up so early. And I remember one time, this poor guy, he didn't want to be there in the morning, man to moon, and he drank some Clorox. Needless to say, he didn't come back to at least our group. He went somewhere else. Yeah, that was. I can see him maybe wanting to get out, but not that.
Now, did you go on bivouac?
Oh yeah. Bivouac was. I thought it was fun, but I mean, it's fun now that I don't have to do it anymore. But yeah, we went on a lot of them, and I don't know if we had sea rations here in the States or not. I really don't remember that. But yeah, the meals weren't all that good. I guess if you was hungry, any kind of meal's good, but yeah.
How was the terrain down there in Fort Polk?
Well, it actually, some of it, it wasn't all that bad, but they did have places they had to have, so you have different types of training, hills and stuff and swamps, and it was hot down there while I was there. Mosquitoes as big as Volkswagens, and Louisiana mosquitoes, it's a killer. Oh, heavens.
Now, what's your most vivid memory of AIT?
Oh my word. It's basically just more of the same, really. It's like I said, it's been such a long time ago that sometimes you kind of shut some of that stuff out. At least I did, and I really don't, because I knew I didn't have much longer to go in training, and then I'd be out of training and go to Vietnam. At least that's where I thought we would be going. And I got out of AIT in November of '68, and went over to Vietnam in this latter part of November, I think.
Tell me about you left the States from what base? What air base?
Well, we flew from Tulsa to San Francisco, and then we went from there and landed in Hawaii. I don't even think we even got off the plane. They wouldn't let us get off the plane because some of them might not come back. And then we flew from there to Vietnam.
Where'd you land in Vietnam?
We'll do what now?
Where'd you land in Vietnam?
I think we landed in Da Nang.
Da Nang?
I think so. Yeah, it was that was a rude awakening.
What was your first impression when you got off the airplane?
Hot. It was hot. It was December, but still, it was another part of the world, and it was hot. And I said, "What in the world did I get myself into?" But you did what you had to do. At least I did. Anyway.
How long were you in Da Nang?
Probably. I really don't remember. Probably a couple of weeks, and then when you got there, you didn't know who you was going to go with. You didn't know if you was going to be at the first Cav or 101st or what. The field was a humongous airfield, and they had this line goes to the 101st, this line goes to the first Cav, so you didn't know who you was going to be with. At least that's where they done us.
And you were assigned to what unit?
I was assigned to the 101st Airborne, but I never had to jump.
Okay.
I repelled out of a lot of helicopters, but never had to jump out of the plane.
When you first get off the airplane, I've had some people tell me about the smell in Vietnam.
Smells. Entirely different smells from the U.S. to Vietnam, I can tell you that for sure. It's a smell that you'll never forget. It always kind of sticks with you.
So, where were you based with the 101st?
My base camp was Camp Evans, where I can't remember exactly where that was at, and but it was kind of funny. Of course, you had a little cot to sleep on, and but the tents that they had built were actually kind of a little cabin-looking affair, but it had wood sides, but the sides were angled at about 45-degree angle so you could get some air through there while you were sleeping. Because sleeping wasn't good, but when you're
Camp Evans was north of Way. Camp Evans was north of Way. That was our base, first camp base.
Oh, okay.
I was at Camp Evans.
Oh. Well, I'll be.
So, what was your MOS in Vietnam? What'd you do?
11 Bravo. I was in the infantry. Some people, I tell people I was in the 101st, but then I tell them I was in the infantry. They just kind of roll their eyes and say, "Okay." You didn't know what you was gonna do when you got there, so.
So, what did you do in Vietnam?
When I first got there, everybody carries the M16 usually. Then after I was there about a month, they assigned me with an M60 machine gun. And I actually liked carrying it better than I did the M16 because even though it weighed 23 pounds, you could put it up on your shoulder, at least that's what you're supposed to do, and just prop one leg down and carry it. And it was, I thought it was easier to carry than the M16. And of course, then you had to carry either 200 or 400 rounds of ammunition. Then you had another person or two to carry the same amount. So in case you got in a fight somewhere, you'd at least have something to protect yourself. Yeah. And I remember one time they didn't like you to. I guess it all depends on what you were doing, but we had to take the tracers out of the ammunition so they couldn't see where they was coming from. Of course, I think with the flash anyway, you'd just be able to see anyway, but still, it's not as bad. And one weapon that I liked to shoot over there was an M79 grenade launcher. Only shot one round, but the round was just like a hand grenade. It was that big.
Now, did you go on patrol?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't remember what base we were at, but probably wasn't on any base. We were just out on bivouac somewhere. And I had to carry a radio that night. And so we went out, I don't know, probably didn't go 100, 200 yards out, I don't think. And during the night, they started getting hit. And the Vietnamese was in between us and the base camp. And I said, oh, Lord of mercy, how did we get back? And so we told them we was coming in, and we just had to, and I could see them. I could see the Vietnamese between us and the base camp, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have turned around and got us if they would have seen us.
Mm.
But yeah, that was because the base was getting hit with all kinds of mortars and stuff, and yeah, that was a scary night.
Now, was it VC or NVA?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't really know now. I really don't know. Really don't.
Did you walk point?
I have, yeah.
What is walking point?
I guess you are. You have a destination to go to, and you kind of gotta use your machete or whatever it is, if it's very dense, and cut a path, and be sure and watch and make sure all the steps are right so you don't trip anything, so the other guys can get through without having to get in trouble too.
When you go on a patrol, how far out do you go?
It all depended. I think it was about a click or two, and that is 1,000 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So at night, that's those long ways, because it's. I remember one time we walked somewhere, and it was real mushy. Come to find out, when we got up the next day, we walked across a rice paddy, but you didn't sink down because it was just spongy, and I didn't have no idea where we were at. But
How many men on a patrol?
oh my goodness.
Or did it change?
It changed from time to time. I think there was probably 8 or 10. I would say.
Now, are you in I-Corps up north? Okay.
Yeah. There's one, I remember the name of one base, and it was Rakkasan is what it was.
What's the name of it?
Rakkasan.
Rakkasan?
But where it was actually located, I really can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
My memory's not as good as it used to be.
What are the monsoons?
The monsoons is a lot of rain in a short period of time for a long time. It's kind of like Indian summer is here, except it rains all the time. I remember we were going through some elephant grass, and you just kind of, when it come time for you to stop for the evening, you had to walk around and tramp you out a spot, take your helmet off and sit on your helmet and lean back against the elephant grass. Oh man, yeah, I can't believe we made it through that. And that stuff is sharp. That's why I'm going to keep your sleeves rolled down, because if you didn't, you'd have cuts all over yourself.
How tall is that elephant grass?
Oh, it all depends. Anywhere from 6 to probably 10 foot. Yeah, and traipsing through that is a chore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during the monsoons, did it rain every day or what?
It rained. It might not rain a lot, but it rained pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might rain for an hour, might rain for 10 minutes. It just all depends, but all constant rain. Yeah.
How many patrols did you go on?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't go on a patrol every day, but, oh man, probably one every couple of days, I would say at least. Yeah.
When you didn't go on patrol, what were you doing?
We were back just either trying to improve your position or something, digging or filling bags or something, and cleaning and a lot of if you like you back at Camp Evans, if you got put on the dirty detail, you had to burn the crap in the toilets. Oh. And then you get some yahoo that go in there and crap with no bucket underneath it, and then you'd have to get that out. Gee.
Now, when you were out on patrol, did you go out overnight?
It's usually.
What kind of position did you set up at night?
Well, you didn't want to be too far spread apart because you kind of got to keep close, keep an eye on each other. There's usually wasn't that many. There might be six of you, and you kind of set up in a circle. As near as I can remember, and one guy has a radio, so in case something happens, you can call in. Well, we see him coming from so and so, and yeah.
Now, did you always walk out, or were you taken out by helicopter?
Near as I can remember, we always walked out. We'd go on different missions where they flew us out, and then we walked back. But I think we walked out more than anything.
Did you work with the Mountain Yards?
I don't recall ever.
Okay.
I never did.
Okay.
Some of them may have, but it wasn't me.
Booby traps.
I never personally tripped any because I still got all my limbs, but they were all over, and probably one of the nastiest ones would be the punji sticks. They would dig a little hole and put a sharpened bamboo stick that they had put in feces, makes it more poisonous. And when it would go through a boot, and you wouldn't think it would, but hey, that stuff is sharp. And then actually, they didn't want to kill you; they wanted to wound you because it'd take another man to take care of you. And a lot of people don't understand that, but it does.
What's the longest patrol you were on?
Oh my goodness. We probably went for a couple of days, I think. And probably, golly, probably 10 clicks or 10,000, probably a couple of miles or better. Yeah.
Now, did you take everything with you, or were you resupplied on those missions?
No, we, on a short one like that, we took everything with us that we could. And of course, you didn't have to worry about too much food because you really didn't, a lot of us didn't want to eat. And then you couldn't heat it up because the fire would tell where you was at. So you had to eat it cold. Lord, but those were the days.
I see you have a Purple Heart.
Yeah. I got my Purple Heart the first day of the battle, May 10th, 1969, on Hamburger Hill. I'm actually kind of glad I got wounded the first day because I wouldn't want to have been there on the 10th day. Because on the back of my car, I have a ghost image of a Hamburger Hill with that date and a Purple Heart emblem. And it looks just like fire had gutted the whole thing. Well, of course it did. And yeah, that wasn't good. But I was in the hospital 3 times while I was there.
Now, where's Hamburger Hill located?
The number of the hill was 937, Oh my. I cannot, for the life of me, I can't remember. I can't remember. I remember one time we were waiting to be helicoptered out to go to somewhere, and we were kind of waiting on a hill, and this helicopter came in, and it zoomed down by us, and there was a ravine there, and it went up, was circling back, and the tail came down and landed in that ravine, and munition was exploding and everything. There's a bunch of us, I don't know how many, there's just a bunch, ran over there and was grabbing the guys that was in the copter out, and they gave us each a soldier's medal, which is, I don't know what it's equal to, but it's, yeah, that was.
So the helicopter crashed?
The helicopter crashed, and the parts and stuff was flying everywhere. But, you know, we were there anyway, so all of us run down and helped them out.
Now, when you got wounded, what happened?
It was the first day of the Battle of Hamburger Hill, or at least for us, and then a mortar round hit real close, and I got some shrapnel in the cheek, and it bothered me for a long time, but they never could find anything, so, and it hadn't bothered me in years, so yeah, that was.
Were you medevaced out?
Yes, I was.
What were you taking?
Golly. It was a hospital, oh my. I really don't remember. I think it was, I really don't remember.
Okay. Was it a field hospital or was it?
I think it was a base hospital somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems.
Would it be at Camp Evans?
No, I don't think it was Camp Evans. It might have been, but I don't think so.
Well, Hamburger Hill, is that Central or is that I Corps or where?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. So how long before you got back to your unit?
Oh, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks, I guess, something like that. The wound wasn't that bad, so I didn't have to be sent home or anything. It just more or less just flesh wound, but they kept me there anyway. I was in the hospital 3 times while I was there. Been there about a month. You know how to carry your packing weapon. I fell off a hill, got a big gash in my knee. And second time was on Hamburger Hill, and then I caught, after that I caught malaria. And I don't know what that's from. I might have been drinking some water out of a cooler. I think there was a rat in the cooler. And I think that's what caused it. I'm not sure. Of course, it might have been mosquitoes, but I really don't know. Then when I come back to the States, I had a relapse, had me laying on a rubber sheet with cold water runs at my temperature about 105. Yeah, well, that was fun. I could give the keys to my buddy and says, "Here, take me to the hospital. I'm dying."
How long were you in Vietnam?
I was in there a year. A lot of the guys now they don't really spend a year. Of course, it's not. Now it's just reserve people. Ours was. I can't think of the word. Drafted, and so we were there I was there for a full year. Yeah, and sometimes they'd bring us clothes out, clean clothes, or supposedly, and sometimes the clothes we had on were drier than the clothes that they brought us.
So you're there December 68 to December 69?
Uh-huh.
Have any contact with the local people in Vietnam?
I did for a little bit. We had this one little guy. They'd all the time be bringing us packaged noodles. I wish I could have brought some of the noodles back because they was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to talk to hardly any of them, you know. But
when you were on patrol, did you go through villages?
no, I never did.
Okay.
No, I don't. I don't recall.
What's your most vivid memory of Vietnam?
Oh my! All the chaos and the poverty and there wasn't much for anybody to do because it was wartime. And all the little kids and stuff, it just broke your heart seeing them run around and some.
You okay?
It's just all the killing and little kids and some of the older people. Yeah.
Why were we in Vietnam?
To tell you the truth, I really don't know. I think it was just supposedly to stop the spread of communism, I think, but I don't think the government even really knew. Probably shouldn't say this, but I think it was just something for them to do and for us to do. I don't really think we should have been, but you know, I was drafted, so I did what I had to do. So, I wouldn't want to do it again. But if they said, Ronnie, we need you, well, I'd hobble over there and go as fast as I could.
So you flew back to the States.
Yeah.
Where did you land?
Left Vietnam and we flew to Alaska, believe it or not, and then we flew from there, I think, down to San Francisco,
Okay.
and then from there to Tulsa.
When you landed in San Francisco, what's the first thing you did?
Almost got down and kissed the ground because, man, I was back to the land that I love, but I myself never did run into anybody. I know a lot of guys do and had, but of cussing us and spitting at us and that kind of thing. I never did run into that myself, but I know a lot of people did. And I just can't believe the way people treated them, because I make a mistake sometimes of watching soldiers coming home on the internet, and man alive, it just breaks your heart. It's just a sign of the times.
Now, Camp Evans, was it still a tent city, or they have permanent buildings in Camp Evans when you were there?
It was kind of early in the war, it was 1968 and 69, so they had a lot of tents, but I think there was a few buildings. I mean, they were great, but as near as I can recall.
Because when we got there, it was all tents.
And whenever, of course, I think this was in basic, but when you go get a shot, they tell you don't move, and if you did, they didn't give you just a regular shot like you get a shot going to the doctor's office. They had a gun, and if you moved, it would slash your arm. And today, that still boggles the mind.
So when were you discharged?
In May of 1970, I was in Fort Riley, Kansas, and that's where that was my last base. I worked in I was driving a truck. I worked for he took had me to type a little something, well, and apparently he said, well, that wasn't your thing. So he put me driving a 5-quarter or a ton and a quarter truck. And you'd walk Gardaver sometimes, and it'd be 30 degrees below zero, because it's in the wintertime.
Now, did you drive in Vietnam?
No.
Drive any vehicles? Okay.
They didn't allow 56 Chevys over there, so I did.
Did you have any tanks with you in Vietnam? Have any?
I don't recall ever seeing any tanks with us.
Okay.
There might have been, it all depends on where he was at probably,
Yeah,
but I never did have any, or never was with any.
Yeah. What'd you do after you got your discharge?
Probably went out and had a big old party, I imagine. But let me see, that was 1966 or 1970. I started to work for my dad, and he had a racetrack up in Caney, Kansas, and I worked up there. And he had a welding supply store in Bartlesville, and I worked for him doing that for a while. And times got kind of bad, so I went to work at a TRW, or Retta Pump at the time. Worked there for 12 and a half years. And
What'd you do at Red Pump?
I worked in a turret lathe, and then after a while I went to the head and base section, where they had CNC machines, and that was a lot of fun.
What's CNC?
It's a computer generated. You had to. It was all tape, and you had to program the machine to cut the part that you were working on. Yeah.
You worked there 12 years?
I went to work there in October of 1974, and worked till June of '86, I think, and I hurt my back and had to have an operation on my back. And then I was off work for 16 months, and then they didn't call me back, so I went back to work for my dad, and retired out of there in 2009, and worked at a welding supply store in town. Sold welding machines and delivered stuff and all that kind of stuff.
So when did you retire?
I retired in February of 2009. I actually retired just about 5 months after I turned 60, because I physically got to where I couldn't hardly do the job, and I said I've had all the fun I can stand, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits. And it was the best thing I ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you join the Army again?
If I would, if they needed me, but I really wouldn't want to. But I wouldn't go try to hide somewhere and not do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they called, yeah, I'd have, yeah.
I'd like to do a word association. I'll give you some
Uh-oh.
words and you give me your reaction.
Pecan pie. Oh,
The first one is basic training.
hard work.
Tigerland.
Hell.
Drill instructor.
Oh my. Hard ass.
Walking point.
Watch your step.
Booby trap.
Watch your step.
Monsoons.
Bath time.
Hamburger Hill.
That's, I don't.
Medevac.
Help.
Vietnam.
The latrine across the sea.
Lyndon Johnson.
Texas.
Richard Nixon.
I never had sex with them.
Ho Chi Minh.
Little guy.
How do you want to be remembered?
just as a guy that did what he thought was right. I know some people probably argue with you on that, but I don't have to live with them. I just want people to think what I do and did was okay for the time that it was.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I can't think of a soul.
Well, sir, this is an excellent interview.
Oh, wow.
I want
don't
to
know what
thank
say.
I want to thank you for your service and thank you for the interview.
Oh, you bet.
And again, this is September 4th, 2019. My name is Joe Todd. This has been an interview with Ron Jones in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Thank you.
Yay!